satisfied and proud that we are up to something really good despite the holidays. So thank you so much for coming today here. Before we start, I want to talk a little bit about H&M. Of course, we've been here in this market for 4 decades. Globally, we have more than 4,000 stores and our footprint almost more than 75 market and also online as well, more than 60. All our brands and the business venture that we share have the same passion for making fashion, and we want to make it sustainable way. And this is where the role here that brought us today. In Bangladesh, we have a long history, more than 4 decades that we are here. We are deeply rooted here, I would say. And one of the main character here that we create partnership. We don't shop around. Our average length of the working with the suppliers is very long. We have suppliers more than 15 plus years also that we are working. And that is the big strength for us. Because when you make partnerships, we can target even a challenge like probably looks like more than Everest, the bigger than Everest even. And in H&M as a role in Bangladesh is the most important market, sourcing market, I would say. So our relationship with Bangladesh and H&M is deeply rooted. Now I will jump a little bit about the European legislations and market access. If you remember this opening session and also a little bit about the earlier panel, they talk about I think I heard the name ESPR there as well, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. The ESPR means eco-design or sustainable product regulation. This means that after end of 2027, every product that anybody wants to sell in Europe needs to announce that how it produced and how it has an impact actually on the environment. It was summarized on a basic knowledge. If we cannot comply with the European law there, our market will not have the access, despite we produce a beautiful product here, despite we have a great industry, last 4 decades. So it's very, very important that we adopt this, and our supply chain is getting ready for this. I will jump to H&M climate ambitions, because as I said, this is one of the biggest market for our sourcing, and we've been here 4 decades. We have very clear vision here to be more than next 4 decades as well. So this market is very important for us. So H&M target for reduce this carbon emission from our value chain 56% by 2030 and net zero by 2040. Approximately 60% of our total H&M Group's carbon emission comes from the producing country like Bangladesh, and primarily to produce fabric and of course making garments. And this is why Bangladesh has a big role to play, and I think I will challenge everyone here in this room that how can you do it? Because looks like we didn't probably start our baby footsteps yet. So we are much behind than a lot of our competitors' countries. Like I heard the name India here, I heard the name Vietnam here, and a lot of Far East countries. And this is where the challenge begins actually. I still have 5 minutes, great. So I will talk a little bit about the energy situation in Bangladesh. The earlier panel, one of my ex-colleagues, now working as a banker, he mentioned about it a little bit. It's a captive generations that we do production in Bangladesh. Usually it's opposite in other part of the world because it's primarily connected to the grid. But in Bangladesh, the grid is not stable. That's another topic of discussion. We produce our own electricity, and that comes from fossil fuel, natural gas. And at the beginning, our honorable advisor also says, and I think Mr. Lutfi also said that around 2 to 5% probably energy comes from renewable sources. And in considering that, one of the big production market in Bangladesh, and I said that we wish to hear even more 4+ decade in Bangladesh. If I look at in my supply chain, how much electricity we need, at this moment, the electrification we have, we need 2,500 megawatt. So that's why I named it is a challenge like Everest. But when everybody, despite all the holiday you came here, I am very courageous to take the challenge here. And considering this mix and a complex, the mix energy situation, and this is a very complex as well, if you turn it around to the next level. One thing I should not forget, there is an opportunity for the on-site solar, like you put a solar panel, which is very, very common. If you take a flight landing in Dhaka, over the Ashulia, Gachipur area, you will see a lot of solar panels. But if you do that even 100%, in our supply chain, we can only cover less than 1/5, probably 15 to 16, 17% of our need. So it's not enough. So we need to play the game completely differently. That's the whole point we are talking about. And given this unique situation, we've been working with our partners, like USAID batch program. We've been working with one of our suppliers and also partners, I would say. Pram Group, soon we'll have a panel discussion about it. We come to a conclusion that there is a solution that we can bring, which is power purchase agreement, a corporate power purchase agreement. And in corporate power purchase agreement, we are saying that renewable energy that produced in offshore connected to the grid and our suppliers connected to the grid. That we are talking about. It looks simple on that sense, but in reality, with the complex, we find is probably one of the most complex projects that we are working. But then, we have some good example, because we are a global companies. We have a good example in India, we have a good example in Vietnam that we work with. So that gives us a courage. And I think I mentioned that once, and I will mention it again, that US batch program helped us a lot to talk with more with the government, to more with the different consultants and others, that how can we make it as a reality. So we come as a proposal as a corporate power purchase project towards our government. Why the corporate power purchase is important to Bangladesh? Because for Bangladesh, corporate power purchase support the Indian government the commitment to reduce the carbon emission, and it will have a direct foreign investment. And at the same time, it will help us to retain the competitiveness of the market. Because as I said, this ESPR is taking in the place, so that this market is more renewable energy, and simply the rooftop solar is not the only solution. I will talk very quickly about the framework. And to establish this corporate power project in Bangladesh, it is important to develop a framework and a legislative, the changes. And this is where government comes into the picture. We request to our government to allow us a pilot project, because this is completely new in Bangladesh. It never happened before. And that would have a 3 areas. One is a tri-party agreement framework, and it's building this energy attribute certificates, and then open access to the market. If we do that, I'm really confident, I'm very confident this pilot will be really successful. And by the way, at this moment, looking into all the solutions that we have, other than this, there is no feasible solution that we have here. Despite the pilot also have a lot of challenges. I look forward to our next panel discussion. We're going to talk a lot about it. And again, congratulations to everyone for this enthusiasm and hard work for sustainability, and more importantly for Bangladesh. Thank you so much.